Hello, my friends. I hope you are having a fabulous day. We're going to make butternut squash chili today. I just realized that I don't have on my wedding ring. So sorry. Now, that feels better. And my Oura ring. Oh, it's been a morning, my friends. We're gonna make butternut squash chili. This is one of my favorite chili recipes, and at first thought or first mention of butternut squash chili, there seems to be a disconnect, butternut squash and chili, but I can assure you, I'm a Southern cook. I like my food Southern, traditional, tasty. This chili is fire. I promise you it is out of this world. I'm gonna tell you all a funny story actually about this chili. I have used the same hairdresser for 20+ years. So we go way back. She's one of my best friends. This was probably 10 years ago. I was in her chair and I said, we always talk recipes, and I said, tell me what you're making good. Tell me something I need to try. So she starts telling me about this chili, and she said, oh my goodness, it's the best chili. It is so flavorful and it's healthy. So she's telling me all the ingredients, and I'm sitting there like, wow. And I'm like, oh, this sounds good. And then the more she shares, then she mentions butternut squash, then she mentions cinnamon, and then the more I thought, that sounds like a great recipe. But it did not occur to me until I said, well, would you just send me the recipe? And she said, yeah, I'll send it to you after work. And she texted me later that afternoon and said, LOL, sending you your own recipe. I forgot that it was yours. So anyway, that was something we still laugh about today. She was sharing my recipe, but you know, my blonde self didn't realize it. I knew something was sort of off, but then when she sent it to me, I'm like, aha. As I always do, I had already made 2 pounds of seasoned and browned ground beef. I made it 2 days ago. It's been in the fridge. So I'm just going to put it right here in the slow cooker. I've said it a million times. If you pre-cook and season ground beef, always at least 2 pounds. 2 pounds is the perfect increment, because most recipes, whether it's a chili or like a shepherd's pie or a spaghetti or something like that, or a lasagna, 2 pounds is typically the amount, so I always do 2. So this is seasoned. It's got garlic, salt, pepper, onion. I don't think I put onions in this, but there's onions in the recipe, so yum, yum, yum. It's already layered with flavor. Anytime you prep your ground beef or your ground turkey, you want it to be seasoned and flavorful before you freeze or refrigerate it. So that adds the base foundation layer. You can use a large green, red, or yellow pepper. I used several colored peppers. I used about 5, and I diced them. And then I used probably 1.5 cups of diced frozen onion. Always keep that. I don't dice onion. I keep it in the freezer. I dice it for salad. And then there are 2 jalapeno peppers de-seeded and chopped, and then some garlic from a jar, which I call jarlic. You can technically just chop and toss this into the slow cooker, but it's not going to be as flavorful as if you saute this stovetop. And I sauteed it in Costarina EVOO, and again, put salt, pepper. So what you're doing when you saute it, and this was not the best pan. This is a enamel cast iron by Caraway, which I absolutely love, but it's better for like searing meat and making cornbread. I like my non-stick, but it didn't stick, so it's fine. If you saute all of your aromatics, your onion, your peppers, your garlic, they're going to release some sugar. They're gonna render juices that work with the EVOO and the seasonings to make flavor. It's another layer of flavor if you saute it. You can toss it in, it's just not going to be as good. Sauteing works magic with aromatics, because you know, if you throw it in raw in here, it will cook, but it's not going to get that golden and get all the release of those flavors. Butternut squash. The recipe, which I will be linking to, the recipe calls for 2 pounds. You can use anywhere between 1 and 2. This is about 20 ounces. So that's 1.5 pounds. This butternut squash came from Trader Joe's, but it was in big chunks. You don't want huge chunks. So I diced it. And then you want to steam it where it is tender. Like if I mash it real hard, it will flatten. I put the butternut squash, I picked it all out and I put it in the microwave. I had microwaved it covered in press and seal for 4 minutes and I let it sit thinking it was gonna be tender. It was not tender. Butternut squash has got to be softened, whether you steam it, you microwave it, or it will stay hard and it will ruin your dish. The little pieces, what you want to do is when you press down, you want it to break apart like that. And butternut squash is very hard, so just make sure you cook it first and it's not gonna fall apart and get mushy. It's a hard squash. So we're gonna go ahead and add the other ingredients. To this, we're gonna add 2 cans of tomatoes. You can use fire roasted. These are just petite diced. Then you're going to add, let me see how much, tomato sauce, 1 15-ounce can. Okay, so we're gonna add a 15-ounce can of tomato sauce. Then we're gonna add tomato paste. So I'm going to get my thin spatula to get this tomato paste out. Yeah, you don't want to ruin all this fabulous, healthy repertoire by having hard butternut squash that renders it inedible. Because remember guys, a slow cooker, it will cook over time, like yes, a raw roast or something, but hard things left for like 4 or 5 hours may not get soft. So I just prefer, if there's potatoes, I always steam them until tender in the microwave. You want things to be mostly cooked where the slow cooker can just heat things through and get all those flavors to meld. Okay, so we've got that. Now we're going to add our beans. We've got 3 cans of beans. You can use different ones. I used black and white, and I've got 3 cans, and I think it's 2 black, 2 white. That just adds fiber, flavor. You can use the Bush's chili beans that have mild or medium seasoning. I think these were just plain and they add so much flavor. Seasonings. You want to use the seasonings exactly in the proportions that I have them on the recipe. You have got chili powder, cumin, smoked paprika, cinnamon, and we're going to use brown sugar or maple syrup. So I'm gonna put maple syrup, and it's a tablespoon. I usually do a little more. This is just really good in this chili. I put maple syrup in my other favorite chili recipe, turkey chili with beans. You just don't know how good it makes the chili. And I am going to do what I do all the time. If you have followed me on Instagram, you know what I'm about to do. I'm about to mix this with my hand because it's so much easier to just move everything around, get it completely stirred. We're gonna be adding beef broth, but I like to get it all mixed up first. And I'm gonna get our butternut squash in here too. Get it all mixed up before we add the broth. Okay, look at all that, yum. And this actually gets better with a day or so in the fridge. It's great for company. There's a lot of meat, so it takes a second to stir all this up and get everything coated well. Okay, now let me go get the butternut squash. Let me grab a paper towel, guys. I like to wipe up around the sides where it will look pretty and not look messy, because when you stir, sometimes it just makes it look messy. You can also, I don't know if y'all ever see these when you're shopping, you can get pan liners for your slow cooker, and they're really, really good. I really like them. I'm gonna add a little water to the tomato sauce to get the last bit of that out. We're waiting on the butternut squash. It's still, when I pierced it with a fork, some of them were still hard, so I put it on 2 more minutes, so that's 6 minutes plus 4 minutes. What you do is, to make sure you're not overcooking it, try 4 minutes at the time, let it rest about a minute after you microwave it, pierce it, and if it needs more, go in 2-minute increments, because you don't want to overdo it, but you want to make sure it is tender and that you can pierce it with a fork. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you that you're gonna need beef broth. Chicken broth would work if you didn't have beef. This is the beef broth that I make with Chroma Wellness 24 karat broth. I do chicken and beef. I'm gonna link to this. This is the best stuff ever because it is shelf stable. You use about 3 to 4 scoops for 1 cup of broth. And it is loaded with the best ingredients. I think there's turmeric, let me see, grass-fed beef bone broth, apple cider vinegar, Himalayan salt, hydrolyzed collagen, herb and garlic blend, chopped chives, garlic, onion, pumpkin, kale, spinach, sweet potato, carrot. Everything is organic. Best stuff I've ever had. It beats kettle and fire, which I do love. It is the best bone broth you can get, and it's shelf stable. You don't have to worry about the bouillon paste that gets thick in the refrigerator. Anyway, it's awesome. So let me check my squash. Okay, my friends, it's done. I want you to see I can pierce it with the fork. So I'm gonna go ahead and get it in here. So glad that that happened where I would reiterate to you all. I'm so glad that I saw that it wasn't cooked where I could harp on this because it is very important. You don't want to go to all this trouble of chopping and prepping and then ruining your soup. So we have all of this. Since this is hot, I'm just sort of gonna stir this in like this, and then we're going to add the beef broth. I always try to get I'm gonna add a little more water to this. Try to get my slow cooker meals, especially things like this, soup, stew, spaghetti sauce, in before noon. I prefer having them ready and on low. I like to do longer on low than faster on high. I like to get this started by 9 or 10 at least. Once you get it cooked, you can keep it warm and reheat it, but you don't ever want to be looking for dinner and it's not done. So I'm gonna put the lid on. See what I'm going to do. Because it is 11:15, I'm starting that on high to get it rolling, and I'll probably do it on high for 3 hours and then maybe turn it on low for a few more hours and then keep it warm until dinner. The addition of the butternut squash is giving you beta carotene, it's giving you fiber, and those seasonings that are a little bit unique for chili, I promise you they work. I will circle back with you all when dinner is ready. Okay, my friends, this chili is done, and I've actually already enjoyed a bowl. But I want to show you all up close how it looks. Look at that. And you can definitely see the butternut squash, but guys, you can't taste it. I think the earthiness and maybe a slight hint of butternut squash, which is really like a nutty, earthy type, sort of like a potato, but you mainly taste chili. So, it's fantastic. I hope y'all will give this a try. So one more time, if you prep your meat ahead and you saute all of your aromatics, you can do that a day or two ahead of time. You can do it weeks ahead by freezing. But then you throw everything together and then you have a big pot of chili that will surprise family and friends if they've never had it before. If you try this, I would love to hear your thoughts, and I'm so grateful to all of you who are watching. And if you enjoy my content, subscribe to my channel. I so want to help offer anything that might help you be more savvy with your family. And as always, until next time, you be blessed and stay savvy.